What up, Chris? This shit passed, and I'm coming back to haunt you. Now, you have recently been in actually not one, but surprisingly two toxic relationships. I'm here to remind you to never get in one again. Hell no. I believe you get into a toxic relationship because both people involved in that relationship is not ready for a relationship yet. You met this one person who you thought instantly was the love of your life. When you actually said one time, I'm glad I don't have to look anymore. And she didn't earn it at all. All she did was look good. You ain't even know who she was. And you said, you know what? I'm going to take that girl down and that is going to be mine forever. That is the first sign of the beginning stages of a toxic relationship. Seriously, think about it. You basically made her out to be the perfect woman that you wanted, even if she told you straight to your face, I'm not a perfect woman. She'd give you an example of, I am a killer. And then what you heard was, I did not kill her. Basically, you make sure that whatever you hear come out of their mouth, you switch up the sentence, you even add a word or take out a word or replace words altogether just to make it sound perfect for the girl that you really wish she was, opposed to the girl that she actually is. You know what you also did? You neglected all of your friends. In fact, one of them actually started saying bad things about your friends. Oh, you shouldn't trust him because it's so and so. You should never neglect your friends because of a woman. Like, you were infatuated by these girls, but you didn't think about marriage when you were with them. That's not a long-term thinking. That's just right now infatuation. That's that puppy love. That's that honeymoon stage that you're in. You know what you also stopped doing, Chris? You stopped playing football. You stopped video editing. You stopped taking pictures. You stopped doing the things that you love to do when you met this girl. You know, you can't stop your hobbies, especially for someone who didn't have hobbies. How you gonna stop living your life to be with someone when they don't even have a life? Their life is you. One of them had a kid. It's not your kid. So now, here's the kid. Here's the mom, right? Revolving like this around the kid. Guess what you doing? You're revolving around the mom while she's revolving around the kid. Who's moving the fastest here? You're doing all the work. Trust is the strongest pillar in any relationship. And you didn't have trust from day one. You guys went to the club. She's dancing with another person in front of you. She gets picked up and she's doing all of this. If you guys are casually thinking about getting together and y'all go to the club together and that's what she does, what do you think she's going to do in a relationship? Come on, Chris. What are you doing? And then, one of the excuses she gave you about something was that she talked to this guy about something and then she deleted it and said it was because I was arguing with him and I didn't want you to think that we were talking to each other. So then why delete the message? And then you gave yourself the excuse, well, you know what? She has a kid. She got nowhere to go. I gotta stay here and at least help the kid out. Why are you giving yourself excuses for? Don't justify her actions, her red flags. You're justifying her red flags so you can stay happy and get some booty at night, if you were able to get it. You know one thing you also couldn't do? You couldn't say no to her. You would come home at 9 o'clock. Now, you're tired. She's the woman. She worked less hours than you. She only worked 4 hours, and before that, she was babysitting her nephew at her sister's house. So she worked less hours than you, and then you had to come home and cook. All for what? For her to go to sleep and say she's tired for the next day. You ain't even getting it. That was like the first 6 months of your relationship. She went through your laptop. She went through your phone. She went through your tablet. She wanted you to delete pictures from 10 years ago. You didn't even use Facebook. You had to delete people from Facebook. She wanted to go through everything of yours. Yet, when it was your turn to ask her for stuff, oh, I don't even use it. Don't worry. I don't remember my password. I don't use Facebook. Instagram is just Instagram. Don't worry about it. You turned a blind eye to all the red flags. Why? She was talking to other guys, you knew it. You enabled it by confronting it and keep on going with it. So she knew that she can talk to this person, get yelled at, and after she says sorry, she cries a little bit, she gives you a little booty, you're back to, okay, when you already know that you're in a relationship that you feel alone. So then you might as well be alone outside of the relationship. Why are you in the relationship? Chris, you've done some stupid stuff, but this, I'll be honest with you, this is one of the dumbest things you've ever done. That's, you know what? When you're a simp, that's when you're in a toxic relationship too. And I'm talking about you're being mentally abused by the other person, and you're still doing everything you can to make the relationship work. Like, you're literally the only one working in the relationship. You got a stroke in this relationship. Never had a stroke before. And you were distressed, you was unhappy, and you was depressed. Chris, never get into another toxic relationship, and please use this example. Use this situation as an example. She was very possessive over you, and that's another reason, that's another sign of a toxic relationship. You fought at every single job that you had with her over a girl. 2 of the girls you didn't like, and you still fought with her because of that. I understand that sometimes females can try to get with you and steal you from your girl, but you wasn't even interested in any of these girls. You're not getting with these people. You gave her your phone. She had access to your phone. She always went through your phone, so she knew the conversations that were having. So it wasn't like it was like, hey, baby, what's up? It was none of that. You didn't use emojis. She used emojis and her stuff. Like, you could not. You went through her phone. I think you went through her phone, what, 3 times in 2.5 years. Now, that is not manly at all to go through her phone. But every time you went through it, you found something. You consciously stayed away from looking at her phone because you knew you would find something wrong. Why were you in the relationship, Chris? The 80-20 rule is a great, like, you know, it is a great tool to kind of follow a relationship with. If a girl has 80% of what you're looking for in a woman, then you might as well disregard the 20%. That's basically the 80-20 rule. But now, let me put into perspective. If that 20% is more important than the 80% that she has, you need to kick it to the curb. You can't ever just get with a girl and give her everything, give her your whole world, just off the strength that you think she's pretty. When they mess with your mind mentally, those girls are rare. When they actually challenge you to be a better man, those girls are rare. This girl didn't do none of that. When they actually are interested in the hobbies that you have to say and want to help you be the successful man that you want to be, those girls are rare. Not the girls who just, yeah, well, I'm here for you and I'm happy for you, and that's it. And then they're back on their phone. That was her. Like being there is not enough. And most girls think that, well, I'm the prize, I'm here. She actually called you Mr. Lucky. You're the prize, not her. You're always the prize of your universe. Anybody watching this out there is going through the same thing. Understand, you're always the prize of your world. She used to insult you all the time. She would be like, why don't you think? What are you talking about? She would call you stupid. She would call you dumb. She would call you an idiot. You didn't really, like, it didn't affect you. So you just was like, whatever. She's just going through her stage. And that's why she stopped insulting you, because she realized it wasn't affecting you. But at the end of the day, what did you start doing to her? Later on in the relationship, when you were getting tired of stuff but you were too coward to leave, you started doing it to her. You tend to become the person that you're now dating. And then let's say they get invested. Why am I saying this? Because this is what happened. They get invested and they start actually being nice to you. Now, your situation is different. You had a health issue that kind of caused them to start acting nice to you, and maybe they felt guilty or whatever it was, but then they actually started giving themselves to you. But at that time it was too late, and now you turned into them. You didn't call her names, but you would talk down to her, and that's a form of insulting. So you caused a toxic relationship towards the end. Now, calm as a bitch, don't get me wrong. You shouldn't have treated her at the end the way she treated you in the beginning, because that's why she left. You know, you dumped her, but she was getting ready to go on a break with you, and at the same time, now that you dumped her, she's not coming back. You now are hurt. It's because of the game that you played with her. It should have just been like, listen, look, I can't deal with this anymore, and I'm out, and that's it. You'd have walked away fine, you'd have been good. These are the things you dealt with as a person. Chris, I gotta come back and haunt you and make sure you never do this. So I'm going to be as insulting. I'm going to tell you who you are and remind. You know why? Because ain't nobody gonna do this. They're gonna sugarcoat and be like, damn, bro, that's crazy. They're not gonna tell you how they really feel. Real friends will tell you, but even your realest friends will still hold back. Me, I'm gonna tell you straight up. You effed up, man, and it's the truth. You should have never gotten into this, and all because of a big butt and a cute smile. From now on, I'm talking about from this day on going forward, I never want to see you go into another toxic relationship, and I'm your past, so I will know if you did this or not. Because guess what? I will be making another video, and I will be coming after you. Chris, don't ever, from this day forward, you promise me that you will never ever get back into another toxic relationship for the rest of your life. Don't make it toxic and don't be in a toxic. Remember, Chris, remember, relationships are based on honesty, understanding, and open communication. The honesty, you didn't have at all. You always questioned what she said. The open communication, you always had to pry and dig and dig. If you didn't dig, she wouldn't say. She only told you what you asked. She never told you anything that she just wanted to generally say. And you know what's crazy about it? Is you would have to ask to find out these answers, and then later on in the relationship, she was tired of answering all the questions. But how can you know anything if the person doesn't want to answer your questions, but she doesn't want to say anything about what she did? Hey, I'm at work, and I'm going somewhere after work, and then I'll be home late. Okay, why? You know, now you can't ask where she's going. I'm not saying that you need to clock her, because clocking is actually negative in a relationship, because then you become controlling. But at the same time, those questions persisted, and you started becoming controlling because of the way she was going about it. Obviously, if it was the other way around, she's going to ask you millions of questions. You know that. But now when it's your turn to ask a question, she's getting upset by, why are you asking me so many questions? Why couldn't she have to say, hey, if I were in his shoes, I'd want to know where I'm going. So let me tell him without him asking me. That's how you build trust. You never had trust in a relationship from all the guys, even down to the one time where her homeboy from her hometown wanted to come up and visit your town and say, hey, Chris, do you mind if he stays with us for a week? What? Hell no. First of all, he's just a friend. We're not like that. He's just gonna stay with us for a couple of days. Hell no. What you mean he's gonna stay with us for a couple of days? I don't know him. Why would he stay here? What do you think is gonna happen? You're here, we're always here, and the kid is always here. What is really gonna happen? Well, guess what? She goes over to daycare, you go to work at 4, and I go to work at 9. That means y'all got a good 6 hours to do whatever the hell y'all want. No, it's not happening. I'm sorry. Never let another person control your happiness. That's impossible. Happiness comes from within. It always comes within first. That's why I say it's a toxic relationship is when two people that get together that are not ready for a relationship because they don't have happiness. They don't have self-happiness within them. They get together, they're already not happy with their lives. So now the guy gets with a girl because he doesn't feel accomplished in his life. So now that he has this trophy, this prize, you know, now he's accomplished. Now he does everything to keep his prize. That's why you're in a relationship. So now you become a simp because you're doing everything for her. Even if you're rich or you're not, you just feel like you haven't accomplished it. You can make $1 million a year, but if your goal is to make $1 billion in a year, you're gonna feel unaccomplished. It's whatever your accomplishments you feel like you deserve or what you should have achieved at your age in your life. And then for her, she could have a damaged background. She could be abused. She could have been raped. She just mainly has some kind of heavy baggage. So she gets with a guy, but she wants to still put up this persona that she's the prize. She's this because she probably never had that in her life. She's probably got daddy issues, and she needs it to be known that I'm the queen. I'm the king. Listen, pride will always get in the way of a relationship. Ego will always get in a relationship. But at the end of the day, a guy gets into a toxic relationship and knows it because he has no ego, and a woman gets into a toxic relationship or is the toxic person because she has too much pride. Anybody out there in a toxic relationship, I've given signs of a bunch of things, a bunch of signs you see in a toxic relationship. Please, if this video helps you out, you know, it would be great, because I never want any of you out there to go through what Chris went through, what I went through in my past, and what he's vowing and promising to never go through again. You cannot be in a toxic relationship and think you're gonna live a healthy life. It's impossible. You're gonna come out depressed, you're gonna come out alone, you're just gonna come out hurt. Either he's abusing you, or she's abusing you, or he is financially controlling you, or she's financially controlling you, or they're making sure that they know they have some kind of dominance over you, and at the end of the day you can't go anywhere. What kind of life is that? What kind of life is that? And all they do is use mind games to control you. It's not like they're, I mean, some of them are physically abusing you, and I'm sorry for that, but at the end of the day, you're staying there. You could be afraid of him, and if he finds you, he'll abuse you. But let's say you go home, what is he gonna do? Go to your mom's house, you know, and beat you up there? Your mom is not gonna allow it. Your dad better not allow it. And if you got any brothers, come on, you know what I mean? So one thing I'm gonna tell you is a toxic relationship is definitely something that you make the decision to stay in. Nobody got a gun to your head. Nobody's telling you, hey, if you leave, you listen. Toxic relationships, stay away from them. Don't get involved. And you know, listen. I'm blessed. You're blessed. Everybody watching this video is always blessed. And please, just remember, everything is gonna be okay. I don't want to see anybody in no more toxic relationships after this video. If you watch this video, make sure you never get into a toxic relationship. And if you in a toxic relationship, leave now. Tell them, send them this video and tell them that's why I'm leaving, because you do this to me. That's it. And I'll take the blame. They can put the blame on me. Alright? Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of toxic relationships. Are you in a toxic relationship? Type down in the comment section below. Let me know your story. If you want to email me, I put my email inside of the description. Let me know how I can help, please, because at the end of the day, you deserve much better than that. You don't deserve to be talked down to. You don't deserve this. And you know what's crazy? Even if you were originally the person that was being toxic, and then you end up being the victim of being toxic because of what you did, it don't matter. Two wrongs don't make a right. You still don't deserve to be in there. So please, like, comment, subscribe. Peace. We spreading positivity all the time.